The university is currently under investigation for the way that it handles sexual assault cases. New UC President Neville Pinto has promised to provide a safe environment for all women to learn.
If you don't have a safe campus and a safe environment for everybody, you can't learn. It's as simple as that. All right? So this is an issue of the success of the student and in an environment that ensures that women can be guaranteed a safe environment in which to be educated. And so, to me, meeting the requirements of Title IX is like meeting the requirements of accreditation. All right? It's sort of a minimum bar. To me, that's what we should be attaining, without second thought. But to me, success is when women come to this campus and they don't even have to think about these issues.
Students for Survivors co-founder Grace Cunningham said that she was skeptical.
I think that's not reality. I think if we look at campus culture and we look at society as a whole, this is going to be a problem for a while, and that it's not just happening to women. And students, yes, shouldn't have to deal with this on campus, but instead of saying like, hey, they shouldn't have to deal with this isn't going to be a problem, we need to be proactive and be adamant about providing resources to the students who are affected by it, and making sure that we have education and awareness that's survivor focused, but educating the UC community, as well as making sure students know that this is an issue and it's not just going to be swept under the rug, and it can't be. This is systemic oppression. It's a matter of sexual violence has existed from the beginning of our country's foundation. So I think that's a very broad statement, and that's not reality. And while yes, I would love to live in a world where survivors don't have to deal with this, where students don't have to worry about this happening, it's going to be happening, sadly. And instead of saying, it's not going to happen here, we need to say that, okay, this is actually happening here, this is reality, and here's what we're going to do about it, and here's how we're going to provide survivor-centric services and survivor-centric education that brings awareness and lets students know what's up here on this campus.
Meanwhile, Students for Survivors have held vigils and rallies to make themselves heard, calling out prominent officials such as Peter Langren, Deborah Merchant, and Bluesette Marshall for a perceived lack of action.
I sat in front of you, Mr. Langren, Miss Marshall, Miss Merchant, consumed by sorrow and panic because I felt unsupported here. That months ago, and now I am consumed by anger and resentment at your administration as you sit comfortably in your offices, never having to worry about how many times I have run into my rapist in a given week, twice this week, by the way, or how many of your tenured professors refuse to accommodate me, two, by the way. You can be comfortable placing endless burden on our campus advocates that aren't even on your payroll and depriving CAPS of the funding it needs to support not only survivors, but all of us here on campus that suffer from mental illness. You can prop your feet up, not fretting over my lived experience or the lived experience of other survivors, and your day doesn't change. We are here right now because we are sick and tired of being sick and tired, exhausted under the weight of your administration's ignorance, and desperate for change. We shouldn't have to be here. This did not happen for a reason. What has happened to us was senseless and violent, and your refusal to make our campus a safe space for us is a continuation of that senseless violence.
Vice President for Student Affairs Deborah Merchant has not responded for comment by either phone call or email. VP for Equity and Inclusion Bluesette Marshall has said that the university is still a work in progress.